Quarterly, assuming July, August, September. What? Yeah, your quarter should be July, August, September. Yeah. Now take note. September no more already. What? July, August only lah. Yeah. So July, August. When do you need to submit? Also 29 December. Why? Because July, August is the final taxable period for the quarterly basis already. What? Right? So your final taxable period, no matter what, whether you're monthly or quarterly, wait until 29 December. Submit your final return. Yeah? And of course, some of you will say, I want to be more efficient, can or not? Even though government allowed me to submit 29 December, I submit in November lah. Can. No one can stop you. But take note, you submit in November, that's final already, you know. Yeah? If I were you, I wouldn't do that. Why? You submit in November, December, receive some tax invoice, got extra input tax to claim. Cannot already. Yeah? Final. Yeah? So why so efficient? Yeah? Of course, don't do last minute or so lah. Yeah? But submit it only in the last week of December. Yeah? So that you can maximize your input tax claim lah. Otherwise, yeah, you submit in November, whatever you receive in December, tax invoice in December, no more claim, cannot claim already. Yeah, remember, final claim. Yeah, so submit by the 29th December. Yeah, whether monthly or quarterly. However, what are the things that you need to note in your final GST return? Yeah, now let me highlight this to you. Now this is very clearly, this is by custom, says here, submit GST return 03 for final taxable period. And they say here very clear, whether monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, latest by when? 29 December. 29 December. Yeah, your final return. Whether monthly, quarterly, yeah, all by 29 December. However, what should be inside your final GST return? Yeah, now, number one, output tax. Still got output tax. May still have one, you know. Example, I've claimed back that relief previously, but my customer come back and pay me this month. Yeah, pay you. So you still need to pay back customer what? Right? So that is considered bad debt recover. Output tax needs to be paid. Yeah, it's not your money, it's government's money. Yeah, you have claimed bad debt relief. Now you have recovered the bad debt. You have to pay back custom the output tax. Now, secondly, of course, claim all input tax that you have. Yeah, from now to 29 December. That's why I say chase for all your tax invoice from your supplier. Yeah, there are some supplier. Now, those tax invoices is for purchases when? For purchases in May, April. What? Purchases in June, July, August, where got input tax to claim? Zero. What? Yeah, so it's those old purchases. Some of your supplier very inefficient, didn't issue you tax invoice. Yeah, so chase for it so that you can claim input tax by 29 December. Yeah, 29. So after 29 December, they won't entertain your input tax claim anymore. Yeah, remember? Yeah, 120 days. Now, one more thing to highlight to you is in your final GST return, there is a deemed supply provision. What is this deemed supply? Yeah, now, let me just highlight the law to you. It's inside the GST Act. Deemed supply upon cessation to be a registered person on 31st August. So take note. Yeah? Because the Act will be repealed from 1st September, all of us GST registered by default cease to be a registered person. Cease to be a registered person. Yeah? And do you know that under the first schedule of the GST Act, it says whenever someone ceases to be a registered person, you need to deem supply all the goods that you have in your company when you cease to be a registered person, which is 31st August. Yeah? So let's read this. First schedule, paragraph 5, says, subject to subparagraph 9, where any person ceases to be a taxable person, any goods forming part of the assets of any business carried on by him shall be deemed to be supplied by him in the course of furtherance of his business immediately before he ceases to be a taxable person. So this is the provision. Yeah? So what happened on 31st August? Because of the GST Act being repealed, all of you cease to be a registered person. When you cease to be a registered person, you need to deem supply all the goods that you have in your company on 31st August. And you will ask me, what goods? Now, a lot of you will think goods means trading stock lah. No lah. GST, if it is not services, is goods. What is the meaning of goods for GST? Goods means not only your trading stock, your fixed asset you have in your company, your fixed asset, yeah? Or your fixed asset, your land and building, all those are goods of the company, not services. Yeah? You need to deem supply all those goods. Yeah? And take note, you will ask me what value, I will highlight the value to you. Yeah? Afterwards. However, what is the purpose of this section? The purpose of this section is not so much for GST will be abolished, SST will be introduced. This section is there meant for what purposes? Example. All the while, I'm a registered person. All the while, registered person. But my turnover fall below 500,000. Fall below 500,000. So, when your turnover fall below 500,000, you will go to custom and deregister what? Cease to be registered person what? So, take note, when you go to custom and deregister, custom would apply this section to say, when you cease to be a registered person, deregister, tell me how much value of the goods you have in the company. Not so. In the company. Deem supply rate. Yeah? Yeah? Now, why? Because, remember, when you cease to be a registered person, all these goods that you have in your company, when you buy all these goods, buy all this fixed asset, you have claimed input tax on it. Right? You have claimed input tax on it. Right? So, when you cease to be a registered person, custom won't let you off just like that. Yeah? Custom will ask you, how much goods do you have left in the company not sold? How much fixed asset you have in the company not sold? Deemed supply rate subject to GST. Yeah? But luckily, take note, this happened when? 31st August. 31st August, what is the GST rate for 31st August? 0. That's why I put here. The deemed supply implication is declare a value in 5A. There is no value in 5B. What is 5A? Value of taxable supply. What is 5B? Output tax. Output tax is 0. So means what? This is just a declaration. No tax impact one. There is no tax to be paid. Because this deemed supply happened on which date? 31st August. 31st August, what is our GST rate in Malaysia? 0. 0 on the value of the supply is still 0. Yeah? And of course, some of you will say, if there is no tax impact, don't declare can or not. It's inside the law lah. You don't declare, you give custom the excuse to penalize you. After I highlight to you, custom is going to do, after all this, custom is going to do GST closure audit. During closure audit, they may find that, hey, how come you didn't follow this provision? How come you didn't deem supply your assets, your goods, yeah? And your final GST return could be deemed to be incorrect return. You can be fined 50,000 one, you know. Yeah? So you're giving excuse for custom to fine you lah. And you know lah, our government is short of money. What? Yeah? 50,000 also better than nothing. Yeah? So very clear. The law says you must deem supply. Even though there is no tax impact, you need to deem supply. Yeah? Now, however, let me read the full paragraph to you. However, you will say, is it all assets or goods? Take note. Subparagraph 9. Yeah? So this just now is 8. This is 9. 9 says what? Subparagraph 8, this subparagraph 8, does not apply to any goods where the person who ceased to be a taxable person can show the DG, satisfaction of the DG, that no credit for input tax in respect of the supply or importation of the goods has been allowed to him. Yeah? Or B, that goods were acquired by him from a person other than taxable person. So means what? Means that this deemed supply would only implicate what items, what goods? Goods that you have claimed input tax previously, claim input tax. Yeah? So that means what? Goods and fixed asset that you have claimed input tax. But what about those assets when you buy the time block input tax? No need to deem supply. You didn't claim input tax, but block, right? Like what? Passenger motor vehicle, block. Yeah? What else? Those assets that you bought before 1st April 2015. If those assets are bought before 1st April 2015, have you claimed input tax before? No. Also, no need. Yeah? So only those assets, those goods that you have claimed input tax when you bought it at the time, then only you need to deem supply. Yeah? Yeah? And why B? B. What is B? If you bought this item from non-registered person, have you claimed input tax? No as well. Right? Then no need to deem supply. Yeah? No need to. Yeah? So only those asset goods that you have still balance in the company 31st August, yeah? But you have claimed input tax when you bought it at the time, then only you need to deem supply. Yeah? And take note, what value? I would say since there's no impact, take net book value. Yeah? How do I know net book value? Let me show you this. This is from the guide, GST guide on valuation. GST guide on valuation. So principally, custom wants you to deem supply this based on open market value. Open market value. Yeah? Open market value. So open market value, your assets, take net book value is acceptable. Yeah? So what? It says here. Yeah? It's inside the guide. It says here. There's no rule, no approval required for the method chosen in determining open market value. However, the following conditions should be taken into account in applying the selected method. 1, the data used for the basis of valuation is available in Malaysia. And B, the computation is consistent with accepted accounting principle in Malaysia. So therefore, let's look at this example 14, yeah, in the guide. Apple Soft Drinks in Berhad bought 1 unit of specially constructed panel van for the purpose of distribution of beverages. So the asset in this case is a van. Now, van, when you buy this van, would you have claimed input tax? Yes. Van is commercial vehicle. Van is not passenger. Yeah, passenger vehicle, lot. No need to deem supply. Yeah, van is not passenger. Van would be, yeah, you would have claimed. Now, on deregister, after 3 years in business, after 3 years, the company ceased its operation. On deregistration, Apple Soft Syndrome Berhad has to account for GST on the panel van based on the open market value, since they had claimed the input tax on acquisition of the van. Assuming that Apple Soft Syndrome Berhad adopts its accounting principle on the value of the panel van depreciated at 10% of the purchase value per year. So 10% for 3 years, how many percent? 30%. So the open market value of the panel van is now valued at 70% of its purchase value. So it means what? Net book value, net book value, net book value. Yeah? So this is what you do in your final GST return, whether it's monthly basis or quarterly basis. Yeah? But as I say, it's just a matter of declaration, but there is no tax to be paid. Yeah? Because now, let's say the net book value of all my assets in my company as at 31st August is 1 million. So what do you declare in 5A? 1 million. Yeah? What do you declare in 5B? 0% on 1 million is 0. Yeah? 0. Yeah? So there's no tax impact. Only 5A is implicated only. Yeah? But as I say, if you ignore it totally, you give custom the excuse to penalize you because it's a requirement in the Act. Yeah? By default, everyone is deregistered from 31st August, right? And this provision will kick in already. So if you don't follow, they have the right to penalize you for incorrect return. Incorrect return, yeah, for not having this deemed supply. So this is how the deemed supply works, yeah? And now, always remember, the 120 days is only for registered person. Registered person, registered person, yeah? What about if you are not a registered person? Not registered person, you still need to submit a final GST return 30 days from 1st September. 30 days from 1st September will be when? 30th September. Yeah? However, don't be alarmed. Some of you will say, not registered person also have to submit return. Not registered person, but got GST payable. Yeah? Who is not registered person, but need to pay GST? Man? This falls 5 circumstances. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 circumstances. Yeah? You are not a registered person. You need to submit your final GST return 30th September. And take note, not registered person, they don't submit GST 031. You submit GST 04. Yeah? Now, what is the typical situation that even though you're not a registered person, you need to pay GST? Imported services. Yeah? So let's say you're not a registered person. You have imported service into Malaysia, which you need to account for GST, output tax, and what? Reverse charge. Right? Oh, I've forgotten to account for output tax all the while. Yeah? So by 30th September, 30 days, please account for everything by 30th September. After that, late already. Yeah? So 30th September. Whatever output tax that you need to pay because you are not a registered person, yeah? So you would need to submit a final return by 30th September. Fine. Not 120 days, 30th September. Yeah? What other situation? Not a registered person, still need to pay GST. You have purchased goods from under ATMS. What is ATMS? Approved Toll Manufacturer Scheme. Yeah? Those are more for manufacturers. Then only you still need to pay GST even though you're not a registered person. Only this 5 categories. Yeah? So don't get the meaning wrong and say, all non-registered person still need to submit one final return 30th September. No. Only those non-registered person that falls under one of this category. 5 category. Yeah? That you need to pay GST even though you're not a registered person. So this is the final return. Yeah? Final return to be submitted to the custom. Yeah? To the custom. Now, one more thing. Now, remember, I mentioned to you, closure audit. What is this closure audit? Now, take note. A lot of you will take the meaning that 1st September, custom is going to abolish, the government is going to abolish the GST Act. So my GST file with custom close. Rest in peace. Yeah? The Act rests in peace only. Yeah? Your GST file with custom is still very, very much open until they do a final closure audit. What is this closure audit? Yeah, it's confirmed here. Yeah? After 1st September, they will do a closure audit. What is closure audit? Custom is afraid for the last 3 years, you have not declared your output tax correctly. You have not claimed your input tax correctly. They don't trust you. Yeah? So before they close your file, they do a final audit. And they call it closure audit. Closure audit. Yeah? That is closure audit. Yeah? So before they close the file. And take note, do you know what is their targeted date to close all the GST registrant file? How many GST registrants do we have in Malaysia? 470 over 1,000. I shared with you beginning of this morning. Yeah? So their targeted date to close all this 470 over 1,000 GST registrant is 30th June 2020. Which I would say is too ambitious. Less than 2 years, you know. We're already in August 2018, 30th June 2020. Yeah? Now, because of the volume of work, 400 over 1,000, custom definitely cannot cope with it. Custom is going to outsource the closure audit function to accounting firm. Accounting firm, like Big Four. Yeah? Yeah, Big Four and Big Eight, like Moore Steven, BDO. Yeah? So don't worry, we won't audit you because you're our client. Yeah? We get someone else to audit you. Yeah? So if you get audited, call us. We help you to defend. Yeah? We will audit other people's client. Yeah? So that is the closure audit. The closure audit. Yeah? And you will say, what right does custom have to actually appoint accounting firm to do audit?